All right, this is part 4 of lesson 5.1. We're going to look at some word problems and how we can use word problems and linear equations and systems of linear equations to solve for the problems. Okay, so it says one bowling alley charges $3.50 per game plus $1 for shoe rental. A second bowling alley charges $2.25 per game plus $7 for shoe rental. For how many games will the cost to bowl be the same at both places? And what is this cost? So we can turn both of these into linear equations. For the first one, it's $3.50 per game. So that's 350x. So that is our slope. 350 is a rate. And $1 for shoe rentals, plus 1. For the second bowling alley, it is $2.25 per game, so 225x plus $7 for the shoe rental. So now let's go to the graph and see what's going to happen. Again, just to refresh our memory, we have y equals 350x plus 1, and y equals 225x plus 7. So for the first of these, for the first equation, we can see that the y-intercept is at 1. So I'm going to put that there. There's our y-intercept. Okay. And again, we can see the slope is 350. So that means every time we go over 1, we're going to go up 3.5. So that means going up 1, 2, 3.5. So we're right about there. And again, we can create our line. And for the second, we can see that our y-intercept is at 7. So there's 5, 6, here we are at 7. And this one has a slope of 225. So again, if we go over 1, we're going to go up about 2.25. So 1, 2, so we're right about there. And you'll see how this works in a second. All right, so here's an important detail. Now, if you look at these two lines, you can see that they're headed towards each other, which means at some point they are going to intersect. Unfortunately, they don't intersect on our graph. So then how do we figure this out? How do we figure out what point at which they're going to intersect? Well, it's simple. We know that at some point these two lines are going to intersect with each other. So what we can do is we can set them equal to each other and find out where that point would be. And so now all we have to do is we can subtract 225x from both sides, subtract 1 from both sides, and we will get, let's see, 1.25x is equal to 6. Divide by 1.25, and we'll see that x equals 4.8 hours. Because again, the x values are hours in this case. So 4.8 hours, which is out here someplace, and that looks about reasonable. That's where they're going to intersect. Okay? All right, last one. Your turn. I want you to read through this and try this one on your own. Pause the video, and then when you're done trying this one, come back and you'll see the solution. All right, now that you've come back to the video, it says Video Club A charges $20 for membership and $8 per movie rental. Video Club B, $30 for membership and $6 per movie rental. For how many movie rentals will the cost be the same at both video clubs? And what is that cost? So for Video Club A. We know that Y equals, let's see, $8 per movie plus a $20 fee. For Video Club B, Y equals $6 per movie plus a $30 fee. And so if we're looking at these lines, we know that Video Club A, excuse me, has a y-intercept of 20, so it's going to start at roughly 20. And we know that every time we go over 1, it's going to go up about 8. So that means we can go to probably right about there. Okay? And we can draw our line. And Video Club B starts out at $30 for their membership. That's their y-intercept. Goes up by 6 every time we go over 1. So that's going to be right about in there. And again, we can draw our line. And you can see that they intersect somewhere up in that region. And if we look at that, it can be kind of hard to tell where that is exactly. Is it, is it at 5? Is it a little bit over from 5? What's the cost? So again, the easy route here is to set these two equal to each other. 8x plus 20 equals 6x plus 30. I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. I'm going to get
Malia Quigley,
2x.
If you're in the building, please come to the attendance office.
I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides. We're going to get 10 solve. So we know that x is going to equal 5. And then if we want, we can just put x into either one of these equations. We can put 5 into x. And if we do that, we'll find that y will equal 60. So the point we're looking at is 560, which if we go back here, pretty close to what we were seeing from lines. The lines are not always exact. So hopefully you can see from this example, lines, when you draw lines, might not always be your best bet, but if you do the math won't steer you wrong. You'll be able to get the right solution each time.